Hi everyone, I'm Ranj, the bearded plumber. Thanks for joining me today. I'm on my way to my job. It's a Remeha Avanta code 4 error, and the customer has tried to reset it a couple of times and doesn't want to reset. So I'm going there right now, and I've got the spare parts with me just in case should I need some. And yeah, let's go and have a look. So here we are, here's the boiler, Remeha Avanta, and now it's got E4 as you can see. So let's get on with it. Okay, off with the cover, yes. Pressure on the boiler is good, pressure's at 1.5. Press the reset. Let's just wait for it to reset. And as usual, always make time for coffee. Also, I know from experience that I have had in the past code 4 errors happening because the condense is blocked up here. So I'm going to just check that out as well. Just make sure that it's clear. Yep, that's clear. Okay, that's definitely clear. So always just check that at the back here there's a condensate connection just back there. So always just check that to make sure it's clear. Right, that's that. The PRV is passing, I've just noticed, so I'm going to have to drain it down and put a new PRV in, and I'm sure the expansion is good. I actually recharged the expansion in 2019, so I may just do that now. Boiler has fired up. Customer told me that they tried to reset it many times yesterday. And even now it's not rectifying actually. Yep. So as you can see, it's still flashing the F and P codes. And usually when it fires up the first time, the boiler will fire up and it will stay alight for a little while. And that will prove that the boilers are working, and then it will just go to the dots. But right now it's still flashing in the parameter mode and doing self checks, and it looks like that it's not happy. I think we're going to get an E4. Let's just watch it go to E4. So this is good news, because you don't hate it when you go to a job for an ignition error and you press reset and it just starts working. At least this one definitely isn't working. There you go, E4. Perfect. I'm actually happy with that, because it gives me something to actually do. So first things first, let's kill the power. Power's off. Start by removing the ignition electrodes. Let's check that out. So the ignition electrodes don't look too bad. Could give them a clean, which is what I will do. I'll start by cleaning them first. But because it's not rectifying, I do think that it might be the ignition transformer, this one over here. So we'll have a look at that in a second. Because these electrodes are only 2 years old. When I did the service in 2019, the way I service is that if I go to a job for the very first time to service a boiler and there's a maintenance kit available, I will use the complete maintenance kit just to make sure that I've done everything I possibly can to keep the boiler going. So as part of the maintenance kit, it gets a new ignition electrode, which is what I've already replaced. So that goes back in there. It's this one over here I want to remove. I want to check the resistances on the gas valve coil. Okay. I'm going to use my Regan one-touch multimeter. This one is just a one-touch. Turn it on and automatically it will know what it needs to do. So this one is reading 1.86 kilo ohms. And this one is reading also 1.87, sorry, 1.87. And 1.86. And when you do the bottom and so number 1 and number 5, they should both add up to roughly the sum of 1 and 2 and 4 and 5. And this looks about right. So it tells me the gas valve is in good condition and it's not failing on the actual governors. So that's good. The gas valve looks okay. So if that is good, I'm going to put it back together, power it back up again, and I want to just check for polarity. Make sure polarity and earth is good, because it could be that the earth to the property has just, you know, either dropped or to this one electrical circuit. It happens. I've been to way too many jobs where the boiler works all perfectly well, and then all of a sudden the earth just drops off due to a poor connection. So again, with the multimeter set up there, let's turn it on. So what I'm proving now is earth, to just check that earth is good or not. So here's our live and neutral, and I'm just going to put my probe to the screw here, because that's earth. Obviously it's all earth, the chassis is all earth, and if you are a bit anal, I can even put it on the actual mains cable coming in, which is just here. So that goes there like so, and then to neutral we should have nothing, or maximum 15 volts, and currently, as you can see, it's showing 113 volts. And earth to live we should have 220 to 240, and I'm only getting 112. It looks like earth's gone bad, hence why it's not rectifying. And between live to neutral, 224. So power's there perfect, earth's bad. The earth has gone bad. Let's see what else can we do here. So in this cupboard is a gas meter, and there's the electrical meter there and consumer unit, and up here is an earth block which has been painted over, so that doesn't matter at the minute. What I've tried to do is I've tried to trace where these cables are going. So this one goes up into this conduit. God knows where that goes. Probably it comes from upstairs or it goes upstairs. This one here goes into the electrical box, consumer unit. And then I see this one, and I followed it down, and it came down here. And it's not connected. Without this connected, so I'm going to leave it disconnected for now. So now at the socket, with my socket and C, plug it in. As you can see, green, green, red, or orange. Doesn't matter what you see, but basically it's beep, 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 which means it's bad, it's not good, and earth is missing. So now I'm going to leave this plugged in and go over to the gas meter. So here at the gas meter again, you can see that the earth is disconnected. So I'm going to push that in there. That's now connected. So I basically connected it at the gas, and the reason why it's picking up earth is you can see the mains gas coming in back there is copper. So it's copper all the way, so I believe that in this property it's actually the gas pipe that's carrying the earth, and that's what they're using. So I've connected that there, nice and secure. And now, as you can see, it's green, all those are green, and you got good earth. So everything is good. Fixed. Boiler is back on, and multimeter, get it to stay there. There we go. So now, between earth and neutral, 1.3, 1.4 volts, perfect. Between earth and live, 224 volts. We're back in business, guys. So let's reset. So between neutral and live, 226, perfect. Between earth and live, 226, perfect. Between earth and neutral, 1 volt, perfect. So the customer tells me that just about 4 to 6 weeks ago they had renovation work done, and electrical sockets were added and removed, and from what I can see is that I don't think the electrician must have made a mistake. However, during the work being done, the earth at the gas meter could have become loose, and they've obviously left the property. And the guys that probably did the work, I'll be honest, I don't think they were probably qualified electricians, because obviously they would have picked this up if they had done their loop tests, their earth tests, RCD tests, whatever tests they are supposed to be carrying out. Obviously would have shown this fault at that point. I think it's all working, so I've just reset the boiler. The boiler is basically doing its own checks. I can hear the pump is pulsating. The diverter valve has moved between heating and hot water. So again, the PCB is just running its own checks. This is why I do like this boiler. I do actually love the Remeha Avanta. It's the nearest boiler that I love to a Valent Ecotech. Similar, you know, Gianni heat exchanger, not the same, but it's a Gianni heat exchanger. Stainless steel heat exchanger, you know, Grundfos pumps. Yeah, it's a lovely boiler. The guts at the back are all brass. And here the boiler goes. It has sparked up. And now it's staying on a lot longer. Yep, done. There you go, it's rectified. And now you'll see this change to just dots. Any second now. Done. You see that? It's a dot. So now, 1 dot means standby, 2 dots mean that the boiler's fired up. Press the enter button. 4. 4 basically means it's now heating up the plate heat exchanger, because that's how these boilers are programmed. You can obviously turn the preheat off, but it's on preheat mode. So it's preheating the plate heat exchanger, and that's our job done. We are in action, guys. Customer has heat and hot water restored. I'm going to carry out my 26.9 checks on the boiler, because I've obviously opened it up. I'm going to carry out my combustion analysis, inlet working gas pressure, do all my safety checks on it, and yeah, we're done. I must say, get yourself a decent multimeter. It can be any brand. I do like this one. I've come to really appreciate it. The only thing I don't like about this Regan One Touch is the only thing is missing is a backlight. It's not backlit. I wish that was backlit. That would make this like the perfect multimeter. AA batteries is what it takes. And also get yourself a socket and see. You don't need, you know, as a gas engineer, to be carrying a big old mega meter or like, you know, proper professional electrical loop tester and stuff. Just one of these will really get you out of trouble. As you all know, it's English with an English plug, because obviously that's what I am. I'm English, and I've used this for many years, and I haven't even looked if I can get one of these in the European with the European outlets, so I've just got one of those travel converters. Obviously it goes neutral, live, and then the earth picks up on the earth pin there. So yeah, this is what I use, and I do love this apparatus. So there you go, boiler's now on 0. I want to go and turn the heating on. And there you go, ignition sequence, code 3, well, yeah, code 3, status 3 means heating mode. That's it, heating is working. So now all I'm going to do is go and drain the water in a minute, change the recharge the expansion vessel, or check the expansion vessel charge, and change the PRV. But just to let you all know that when the boiler is working in normal mode, it will only show dots. Just so 1 dot, like I said, is standby mode, 2 dots mean burner is on, and if you want to know what mode it's in, press enter. Number 3 is heating. I'll turn the hot water tap on now as well, and you'll see it change to number 4. And there we have it, number 4. So now it's on hot water mode. So now I'm going to just, because I noticed the PRV's wet, shouldn't be obviously, so I'm going to drain the boiler. So now I've just connected my hose pipe to the connection to fill the system, drain the water out. It's now obviously showing near enough 0 bar, and let's change the PRV over. PRV, new PRV, just needs a bit of PTFE tape. Let's get some grips out. Quite a bit of water in that I actually wasn't expecting. Okay, there we have that done. And now I want to just check the pressure on the expansion vessel whilst it's drained down. Using my trusty Milwaukee air pump. Expansion is at 0.6 bar, which is not too bad. I'll just recharge it to 1 bar. Right, we're good there. Expansion vessel's recharged and done. And then pressurize the boiler. That's it, pressurized and done. Okay, and that's dry. Yep, that's dry. Perfect, that's what I want to see. I carry out a combustion analysis literally on every boiler I touch. Even if I go into a property where I haven't physically worked on the boiler, I will still at least carry out an FGA test just to make sure it's all set up correctly and working well. So FGA is set up and purged in fresh air. In that goes. Boiler fires up on heating mode. So just to show you, we have 22 millibars, 23 millibars inlet working gas pressure on high mode. Homemade LDF. On high it should be about 8.8 plus and minus 0.1. So currently we are at 8.78. Perfect. Like I told you, I've been here before, I've already set it all up. Perfect. And now put it on low fire. So obviously I stopped the FGA and my ratio is 0.009, perfect. Carbon monoxide's at 80 on maximum rate, and my CO2 is 8.84, perfect. And now I put the boiler in low mode, and let's see what it does on low. Just to let you all know that this little screw over here, let me get my screwdriver, this little one here is for adjusting your high, and then this one here is a 2mm, 2 or 2.5, I forgot, I think 2mm Allen key inside the gas valve offset over here for the low. And again, the low should be also 8.8 plus and minus 0.1. And now that I'm going to give it a little bit of an adjustment, I can check it is 2mm. So 2mm, I think you can see it on the bit, 2mm. So this is anti-clockwise to lower it, but obviously it's very sensitive, so just do the most smallest amount of turns and then wait. To be honest with you, you could leave it at 9%. Almost every manufacturer, like such as Valent, obviously on 9%, everything's almost 9% on high and low. Whilst that's adjusting, I'm going to use, so I use gas engineer software on my phone to do my certificates. Pack up my tools whilst that's still adjusting ever so slowly. Maybe give it a little tweak more. There you go, 8.84. Done. Stop. Flue cap back on the test point. Reset to get out of service mode. And carbon monoxide is at 4 parts per million. So that's lovely jubbly. Right, we're done. We are done. And the cover back on. One last thing, and that is, put it here? Yeah, let's put it here. Nice and straight. The name you can trust. Right guys, so that job's done. It was basically the issue with the job itself directly was the bad earth. I've come across a lot of jobs where it's got poor earth. What I've noticed in a lot of apartments is that as the gas comes into the property in the MDPE or whatever they use, you know, the plastic that they electronically weld, as that comes in, your main electrics also comes into the property as well at your entrance, and they basically put in like a big earth connection. They put a big earth connection onto that gas pipe, and then the gas pipe runs in 28mm all the way through to the 3 or 4 apartments that are in that building, and then they piggyback the earth of the electrics in the property from the gas meter. That's what I've found. And yeah, and on this job that was the case, where the earth had come away from the gas meter connection, causing bad earth in the whole property. Obviously I found the solution, so yeah, I checked the ignition electrodes. Maybe I should have checked the polarity straight away, but I didn't assume the polarity to be bad because it was working up until yesterday. So yeah, so obviously do your visual checks first, and you should really be doing your polarity and your earth tests before you do anything else. But nevertheless, using my multimeter, I proved that there was definitely 230, 220 between live and neutral present at the boiler, and there was only 115 volts between earth and live, and that's where I knew straight away that the issue on the job was bad earth. So luckily I found the earth issue, sorted that out, all the sockets. I then went around and I just quickly checked at least about 2 sockets per room just to make sure earth was present, and I notified the customer that the lounge didn't have earth at the sockets. However, it doesn't really need it there because obviously most appliances are double insulated in the lounge anyway. But the washing machine socket was earthed, which was good, and the kitchen was all earthed as well, and the boiler's now got its earth back as well. So yeah, that's the job completed. In the description below I will leave links to my obviously tools that I use. So on Amazon, there'll be links on Amazon to buy the tools. I'd appreciate it if you are after something that I've used, just to click on the links and go via my Amazon shop. And if you found this video useful, please in the comments below let me know if you found the video useful or not, because obviously I want to make more of these videos. If you feel I'm just teaching you how to suck eggs again, you know, let me know that as well, and I can stop and I'll go back to doing other videos. But you know, obviously your feedback is highly appreciated. And until next time, boys and girls, live long and prosper, and I'll see you in the next video. Thanks for watching.